Hello again, everybody. Mental Fox here. Welcome back to my playthrough of Avowed. Thank you so much for joining me again. Well, we're traveling here with Kai, our new companion. And in the last episode, I said that I would look at his abilities offline, and I did that. And he has a point to spend here, and the choices are Fire and Ice, Unbending Defense, Leap of Daring, and Second Wind. And I looked at these, and I think I'm going to give him Second Wind. It's a passive ability. When Kai's health is reduced to 0, he revives himself by restoring 50% of his maximum health. That sounds awesome to me. And I guess these are maybe upgrades that are locked still. I'm not sure. But we're going to go ahead and go with Second Wind. Spend my 1 point on that ability. Okay, so he now has Second Wind, which I think will be tremendously helpful. I also looked at what the heck that icon on the left-hand side of the screen means. What it means is, it means that Kai has something he wants to say to us, but he will say it back at camp, wherever and whenever camp is. Because right now, if we talk to him,
the local militia's lax at the best of times, which these are not.
He'll just say random stuff.
The Dream Scourge has driven people to the city, means more bandits on the road.
So he knows about the Dream Scourge, even though the rest of Paradis does not seem to know about it.
Dawnshore is most people's first view of the living lands, and last brush with civilization.
Oh yeah? Let's take a look at the map. Yep, here's the map screen. Okay, so I guess we're here on the dock. And whoa, holy moly, we need to go all the way up here. That seems very far away. Maybe it's not, but it just seems far away. Oh, we have Dawnshore in the Living Lands. Beautiful. All right, Kai, let's go this way. So, all right, I'm gonna try to role play this a little bit. It's something that I've been doing a little bit in my games, and I kind of enjoy it. Normally when I play a game like this, I just explore everything there is to explore, which is fun in its own way, sure. But I find myself then picking up a lot of side quests, and I find myself losing track of the main quest. And it doesn't really make sense I don't think it makes sense that a character would necessarily do that. My character has a job to do. It's listed right here in our journal. Find the Strangleroot. The Adirian Embassy is, why can't I talk? The ambassador is missing. He was last seen headed to the Strangleroot, which is to the northwest and past an old Pargrin wall. This is what we're here to do, man. We're here to talk to the ambassador. If we're going to do our job correctly, we need to do that first. We don't need to go exploring every tavern and pub and inn and other place inside of this city. So I'm going to focus on doing what I think my character would do. And right now, I think he is going to be focused on finding the ambassador. So we're going to head to the Strangleroot. Ooh, fast travel, approach fast travel beacons to unlock access to them on the map. Select a purple icon on the map to fast travel to it. Okay. Approach fast travel beacons.
Pargrunen left these beacons all over the island. They're good for finding your way around.
Oh, is this... Okay, this is the beacon right here. Okay. All right, cool. So we now have a beacon. We have a fast travel point to Claviger's Landing Beacon. We can come back there whenever we want, it looks like. Like it.
The city's getting crowded. Pretty soon the Adirans will outnumber us 3-1.
Why doesn't the Claviger put a stop to it?
What do you think, dimwit? He's nice and cozy in the ambassador's pocket. That's enough for now. We got a listener.
Yeah, you do. Pod and I don't know her name. Oh, Brentis. Here we've got just a couple of randos. Okay, so we can't talk to everybody, which actually is probably a good thing. So, oh, Claviger's Landing, yeah. So, you know, I was just like, oh, my character is going to go there. Well, this is related to the Claviger, which is also part of our quest now since we've got this buddy with us. So let's go down here and talk to these people and see what's up with the Claviger. Because they mentioned the Claviger. What's up, Brentis?
Keep walking, Outlander.
Oh, okay. What's up, Pod?
Hey, you better watch your step.
Okay, I'm scared of you.
The docks are my territory. Remember that.
Uh-huh.
Stay out of trouble. Or else.
Stay out of trouble or else.
The Living Lands is gonna eat you alive.
You don't want to get on the boss's bad side.
Okay. Well, we didn't learn anything there at all. Let's walk around this city. So, see that right there? Exclamation point over top of that person? I'm going to steer clear. Oh, maybe I'm not. Fuck on it.
I don't trifle with souls, ma'am.
They're tearing my home apart. Never mind.
They're tearing her home apart. That's none of my business. It's none of my business. I'm going to assume that she will stand there until we come back. So yeah, it's telling me about the map. And this is cool. It's telling us about merchants here. It's telling us that there's a quest available, so that's good. We won't forget about that quest. However, what we will forget about is what the heck she just said to that guy. My home is being torn apart. Don't think there's anything I could do about that.
I've come in search of lost treasures. Have you heard any rumors of such things in the area?
I suppose so, actually. There are some Pargrunan ruins to the north, just across the river from the Strangleroot. The Pargrunan are said to have left behind many treasures.
Very good. I will remember you. You will be justly compensated upon my return.
Yeah, sure. Just be careful, all right? The land gets more dangerous the further north you go. No telling what might be waiting for you.
Do not worry, little man. I have stared death in the face before, and have no fear of these supposed dangers.
All right. Well, good luck.
I wonder if we're going to find her dead body somewhere later on.
It's a fine day for adventuring.
It is indeed.
Something tells me you'll be getting that compensation.
Yeah. Yes, I saw that note. I'm trying really hard to stay single-minded and focused. It's an exercise. Some Audra over there. I wonder if it'll talk to us. But I don't care.
Leaves. Letters won't turn up.
Okay, another quest there. We're gonna leave it. When will I do those quests? When will it ever make sense for my character to do those quests? I don't know. Maybe I'll find myself being a little too weak. Cooking recipes. Hold on.
Maybe it's superstition.
Oh.
Audra like this usually marks a good spot to rest.
Oh, okay. Well, we got a lot going on right here. Cooking recipes up there. Cooking recipes. Where would I find cooking recipes? Where would it be? I actually thought it would be in game systems, but I don't see it. I don't think it's in companions. Certainly not combat. Huh. I don't know where cooking is. Oh well. Anyway.
The road didn't last. Your pointy sticks don't stand a chance. And neither do we.
Okay, we just got some people talking over here. Party camp. Oh. You can set up a party camp at large Adra waystones found throughout the Living Lands. Here we go. Let us interact with the waystone. Set up party camp. Sure, why not? Let's do that. We need a base of operations. You can set up party camp at large Adra waystones found throughout the Living Lands. Setting up party camp will fully restore your health. Nice. In party camp, you can speak with companions, upgrade and enchant gear,
After
cook.
your voyage, it must be nice to spend the night on dry land.
Uh-huh.
Personally, I've always found the rocking of a ship to be soothing.
Okay, great.
As long as I've got my feet facing the bow, that is.
Okay, well, you interrupted me, dude. Party camp. Party camp. Party camp, you can speak with companions, upgrade and enchant gear, cook, store extra items in the party stash, and collect god totems. Okay. Well, it's funny, because outside of camp, it said that he wanted to talk to us, but in here... Okay, there we go. Puts a little thing over top of him.
I haven't seen this much excitement in a while. Perhaps I've got you to thank for bringing it with you, Envoy.
All right, let's talk to him.
You know, for most people, getting sent to the Living Lands is a punishment. But, according to Steenrick, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Adir himself. Quite a position.
Well, as a Vanguard scout, we could say, let's just say I know how to get a job done. The Emperor prefers not to know the specifics. We could say, yes, that's true. Or is there a question in there? Well, let's speak as a Vanguard scout. I know how to get the job done.
Then I dare say you're better equipped than most who wash ashore here. You must have some truly fascinating stories of past exploits.
Perhaps I'll tell you about them sometime. I've done a little of this, a little of that, or if I told you, I couldn't let you live. I've done a little of this, a little of that.
Well, we'll have to have a drink at the Grinning Ballarrock. Perhaps I can get you to tell me more. In the meantime, tell me this instead. Why does the Emperor send his most valuable agent to the Living Lands?
I'm investigating the Dream Scourge. I'd rather talk about why you're helping me, or why would anyone think it's a punishment to be sent here? Well, let's ask him a question. Why would anyone think it's a punishment to be sent here?
A journey to the Living Lands is one way for most. This island's always had a way of swallowing people whole. An entire civilization disappeared here, if you can believe it. And this was all before the Dream Scourge. Now?
You've got bigger problems in the wilds, or what? Sounds like you've got bigger problems in the wilds.
Much bigger. Refugees are flooding in from outlying regions. The guards are restricting access to the city. And people are making offerings to the gods for everything from hangovers to indigestion, just in case.
What's known about the Dream Scourge? That's why I'm here, to find the source and put a stop to it. Or I've seen how bad it can get. People are right to fear. Well, what do you know about the Dream Scourge? What do people know about it?
Not much. It's hard to separate fact from rumor. I've heard it changes people, makes them confused, disoriented, and eventually violent. No one seems to know exactly how it starts.
That's why I'm here, to find the source and put a stop to it. Or I don't know how it starts, but I've seen how it ends. Well, I mean, that's why I'm here, to put a stop to it.
I like your confidence. Just be careful how you express it. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Adiran troops and the rumored exploits of the Strangleroot paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Clavenger accompanied your ambassador.
I see. I can understand the tension. Foreign troops are rarely a welcome sight. I'd heard the Living Lands was a lawless frontier. A little order and stability are needed. Or why are you looking for the Clavenger anyway? Why are you looking for the Clavenger?
I was in rough shape when I came to Paradis a few years back. Clavenger Amond helped me get settled here. If he's gotten into trouble, the least I can do is help him out of it. Especially if he's following up on rumors of the Dream Scourge. But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course.
Let's see what the game says about Dream Scourge. The Dream Scourge is an unusual plague spreading across the Living Lands, one that affects the body, the soul, and even the ecosystem. Those infected are known as Dream Thralls, but they seem enthralled by some unique and terrifying madness. Ooh. So he's asking us, what is our stake in things besides our orders? You could say, I want to help. I'm going to stop the Dream Scourge one way or another. I serve at the Emperor's pleasure, and he sent me here. That's it. Everyone's heard tales of the Living Lands. I came for the adventure, or something here calls to me. I don't know what it is, but I feel a connection. Well, I think this is how I'm playing my character. I serve at the Emperor's pleasure, and he sent me here. That's it. We're here because the Emperor sent us here.
Ah, I used to march to a similar drumbeat back when I served in the Rawatayan Navy. But that's a story for another time. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while.
Okay. What can you tell me about Paradis? Why is the soul plague called the Dream Scourge anyway? I've got questions about you. You know, this is a good question. Why is it called Dream Scourge?
They say people afflicted with it have strange, vivid dreams and start confusing them with reality. What starts as a light daze becomes severe disorientation and eventually a bent towards chaotic violence. And then, fungal growths take over your body. So Dream Scourge.
Wonderful. Fungal growths like mine, or I've been hearing a strange voice since I arrived. Yeah, we're not going to share that with him right off. But fungal growths, do they look like the ones on my face?
No, Dream Scourge is different. It spreads all over. Still, if you see any new mushrooms sprouting up anywhere unexpected, let me know. Until then, look on the bright side. The Living Lands is filled with people and things that are likelier to kill you first.
I see. Well, what can you tell me about Paradis?
It's the gateway to the Living Lands, a scenic port city that's as beautiful and dangerous as the wilds around it. Most visitors enjoy some mariner's porridge at the Ballarrock, a back alley shakedown, and then the sudden return of that porridge out of one end or the other. Then, if they've got any sense, they turn around and take their chances back where they came from, with authentic tales of their adventures in the Living Lands.
So he's mentioned Ballarrock more than once. Ballarrock. Ballarocks are massive creatures native to the Living Lands, frequently in hibernation and rarely spotted in the wild. Legends tell that a Ballarrock's form reflects their preferred season and ecosystem, where they act as hunters and guardians. Cool. Let's see. We could say, you don't seem to think much of Paradis or the people who come here. We could say, I thought the Living Lands was full of eccentrics, exiles, and criminals. Or the Living Lands has a reputation for adventure. What do you expect? I mean, you don't seem to think much of Paradis or the people who come here.
Don't get me wrong. It's a great city. In part because it's great at winnowing out people who have no business being here. The Living Lands means a hard-won second chance for the people who settle here. But first, you've got to survive it. And the island gives no quarter.
If it's so deadly, why would anyone come here? Or the ultimate proving ground, a place to see what you're made of. I could see my character saying either one of these. Yeah, it sounds like the ultimate proving ground.
The folks who say that either last the longest or the shortest. For a lot of people, the Living Lands is a last resort. They come fleeing war, debt, famine, the law. Take your pick. For others, it's freedom. To seek glory, to redefine yourself, to live in a way you can't, maybe even on pain of death wherever you come from.
Wow. The Living Land sounds like a haven, chaos and desperation, in other words. What was it to you? Yeah, what was it to you?
Oh, little of everything. Rawatai is famous for storms and rocky soil, so I figured if I'm going to live in a hostile environment, why not pick some place where things grow? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Used to be. If you could last out here, you could count on being left alone.
We could say, but Adir's changing things. Is that it? Or until the Dream Scourge, you mean? I think this is what he's saying. He's talking about Adir's changing things.
That's what some fear. Ilgard's new embassy and his alliance with the Strangleroot smell like the authority and order that a lot of people came here to leave behind. But I don't mean to put that on you. I imagine you're tired of having to answer for every Adiran who sneezes into somebody's stew.
Well, I've got some questions about you, dude.
My favorite subject.
Well, when did you come to Paradis?
That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change.
A change from what?
I was living in a settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Rawatayan expatriates.
mentioned Thirdborn. Thirdborn is the main settlement in the Shatterscarp region of the Living Lands. It is primarily occupied by Rauatayan expatriates, soldiers, sailors, explorers, and merchants. That sounds nice. You must have missed the amenities of a bigger city like Paradis, or you still haven't told me why you left. Yeah, why did you leave?
You're pretty nosy, aren't you?
A little bit. Just wait for him to answer.
And I thought that Inquisitor was intimidating. Things just didn't work out there. Let's leave it at that.
Okay. Well, what did you do before you came to the Living Lands?
I joined up with the Rauatayan Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago.
What was that like? Rauatai's had a presence in Deadfire for the better part of a century. That must have been before you restyled yourselves as the Royal Deadfire Company. Yeah. So that would be interesting, wouldn't it? If Rauatai has had a presence in Deadfire for the better part of a century, and he was part of the campaign to establish a foothold, he must be very old? They've had a presence in Deadfire for a better part of a century.
Part of a long-term effort to reclaim our ancestral homeland and feed Rauatai from Deadfire's fertile soil. I believed in that mission. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Huana cousins.
Huana, huh? The Huana are the indigenous culture of the Deadfire archipelago, keen sailors and survivors who thrived in the Harsh region for thousands of years. Long ago, they were an imperial power ruling from the great city of Ukaizo. Today, their diminished but influential authority can be found on the island of Nekataka. Let's see. Sounds familiar. Yikes. Or I'm guessing reality was different. Guessing reality was different.
Yeah. The Huana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us. But I didn't see that either.
Wilder? Wilder are sentient creatures who form complex communities but are nonetheless excluded from Kith society. I still don't know what Kith is. Whether that is the fault of language barriers, immense cultural differences, or unexamined bigotry, however, depends upon whom you ask. Let's see. So what did you do, or then what did you see? Yeah, what did you see, man?
Some fell apart. Some bought into the cruelty that our continued presence required. Others didn't buy into it, but went along with it anyway. And that bothered me more somehow. I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years.
You disliked fighting for Rauatai so much you left to fight for other people? Or desertion is a serious crime in the Rauatayan Navy. You disliked it that much, dude?
Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Rauatayan deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew.
Fair enough. How'd that work out?
I ended up here, didn't I? It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough. Had enough.
Did you find something better here? Or you had a whole life before coming here? I mean... did you find something better here?
I did. Yeah. For a while. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences.
Okay. Believe me, dude, I know.
I figured.
So you're originally from Rauatai?
What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth, or the striking blue of my scales?
Oh, we have Al Mawa in Adir too, you know. Why leave Rawatai, or I'd say it's your exquisite skull ridge. I mean, we have Al Mawa in Adir too, so this is another time when I wish that it would tell me what the heck Al Mawa was. I guess that's like his race, and I'm saying that his people don't just live in Rawatai, they're also in Adir. So yeah, we have him in Adir too, you know.
Fair enough. My people are known to roam. Rawatai's hardly a hospitable environment. Many of us end up settling elsewhere or making a living on the go. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard or mercenary.
So now it tells me what Amawa is. Amawa, one of the many races inhabiting Eora. Amawa tend to grow quite large and possess many different skin colors and patterns. Coastal Amawa descending from Rawatai are typically blue or green, while island Amawa from the Deadfire Archipelago have warmer tones. Okay. Let's see here. Weren't you a mercenary? I thought that was because your species is physically imposing. I've been to Rawatai. I remember near constant storms. What's Rawatai like, or enough about Rawatai? Enough about the sun. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard or mercenary. Let's say I've been to Rawatai. I remember near constant storms.
Then you must have come during our sunny season. Lashed by storms, battered by waves. We call it the rough country. And old trenchers say it's made us who we are.
Okay. Trenchers?
We do a lot of digging for irrigation, drainage, warfare, the occasional village tournament. Anyone from Rawatai has spent enough time in some kind of hole in the ground to be on a first-name basis with the worms. So, trenchers. Those of us who leave are Strangleroots, hardy weeds that can survive just about anywhere.
Adversity builds strength and character, or it sounds like an unpleasant place to live. Nah, adversity builds strength and character.
You'd fit right in with the Ranganui's inner circle. It's true that the same things that make Rawatai a difficult place to live have shaped our people and our kingdom. Our coral masons have built living harbors and fortifications along the coast to protect our ships and shelter our cities. For all our shortage of fertile soil, Rawatai's land is abundant in saltpeter, copper, iron, most of the other materials you need to outfit your military with weapons and cannons. We value struggling and striving together. It helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies in Eora.
You mentioned Nui a moment ago, a Rawataian word for big, often used in conjunction with official titles. Okay. You'd fit right in with the Ranganui's inner circle. Okay. Let's see here. Helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies, we could say, as well as one of the most warlike and expansionist, or Rawatai's prosperity has become the envy of the other old empires, or enough about Rawatai. I mean, prosperity has become the envy of the other old empires, that's for sure.
It's been hard won across a variety of conquests, cooperatives, and trading colonies. Some of the traditionalists worry that prosperity is making us as complacent and soft-handed as our rivals. Same as traditionalists everywhere. Me, I prefer the simplicity of the living lands. Kill the thing that's trying to kill you, and hope it has some edible meat on it.
Well, let's talk about Dawnshore.
Sure. What's on your mind?
I've got questions about you.
So did my commanding officers.
Let's talk about Dawnshore?
I'll tell you what I can.
Well, I guess you won't, will you? For some reason, we can't talk about Dawnshore. I don't know what's up with that. I guess that's all. Huh, that was weird.
Safe enough. But I'll take watch. Just in case.
Okay. All right, so we could talk to him again.
Nothing like a campfire and a good sea breeze, is there?
Yeah, that's all.
Enjoy the ocean breeze while we're here.
Okay, well, let's look around camp and see what options we have. Looks like we got a little tent here. There's the Adra. Oh, we can interact with it. Ooh, what happens if we interact with the Adra Waystone? Oh, okay. That would put us to sleep. Okay, so not for now. I'm going to look around first. It's our place where we're going to sleep. Party stash. You can store items in the party stash at party camp. Stashing items from your inventory can reduce your overall weight and prevent encumbrance. Okay, I like that. Let's go ahead and store some things that I'm not going to use. I've been using the axe, but I think my character should be using something else. I'm going to put the axe away. I'm going to put the great hammer away. Do I want to use a dagger or a sword? Let's keep both of these for now. I'll try them both out. See which ones I want. I'll keep the wand and grimoire, even though... You know what? I'm not going to keep the wand and grimoire. I'm not a magic user, and we've got Kai with us, and he can do that stuff, so I'm not going to take it with me. Maybe a big mistake. Okay. Ooh, we got this breastplate here. We've got... I don't need these court gloves or these deerskin gloves or these messenger boots anymore. I guess I'm going to hang on to all this stuff. And I don't know if I hang on to this stuff or I store it. Okay, I need to equip a weapon. We'll try the dagger first. We'll see how that goes. And then this breastplate, do I... Okay, so I could either wear the Adherin armor or the breastplate. You can see here, got this maximum stamina business going on. I don't think I want to lose stamina. I want to keep stamina, so I don't think I want to wear that heavy breastplate. I think I'll stick with the common Adherin armor. I think I'll stick with that. Which means that we're going to go back into this here. We're going to store the breastplate. We're going to store the robe. Where do I do upgrading? Here we go. Workbench. You can upgrade weapons and armor at the workbench in Party Camp. Upgrading your weapons is integral to your combat effectiveness and requires specific upgrade materials. Upgrading items. Select a weapon or piece of armor from the left side of the screen to upgrade. In order to upgrade, you must have enough upgrade materials of the corresponding type and quality. You may also combine upgrade materials to create those of higher quality. The results of your upgrade are displayed on the right side of the screen. Materials come in numerous types, each with their own purpose. You got weapon materials. Metals like iron chunks and woods like softwood branches are the primary materials used to upgrade weapons. Armor materials, skins like pelts and tanned hides, etc., are the primary materials used to upgrade armor. Universal herbs. Native herbs like Paradis and Ladder and Hylea's Talon, etc., are used to upgrade all items. Really? Okay. Adra and its variants are used to upgrade unique items across quality tiers. I don't really know what that means. Enchanting materials, a variety of monster parts like Zorip tongues, spider legs, and ogre blood, etc., are used to enhance and augment unique weapon enchantments. Huh. Well, it doesn't look like we have enough of anything to upgrade anything. We can't even upgrade our shield because we don't have any Paradis and Ladder. Same with the dagger. Same with the bow. So we can't upgrade any of our weapons. We can't upgrade our armor because we don't have any. Don't have enough pelts. We don't have enough Paradis and Ladder. And materials. Okay. So does that mean I want to just go ahead and store this stuff here? Not carry it around with me? Yeah, I'm not sure. I may regret that. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if, like, if I set up camp somewhere else, will I still have access to those things? I think we will. I think they'll follow us around. Enchanting Station. Unique weapons can have their primary enchantment further improved or augmented at the Enchanting Station in Party Camp. Augmenting a unique enchantment replaces the original enchantment, is permanent, and requires a variety of specific enchanting materials. Enchanting unique weapons. Select a unique weapon from the left side of the screen to enchant. Choose a replacement for its primary enchantment on the right side of the screen. Enchanting requires specific enchanting materials and currency. It can also not be undone. Enchanting materials consist of a variety of monster parts. Okay. Well, we have no weapons or materials at the moment, so we will not be dealing with that. totem shrine. You can display collected totems and totem fragments at the totem shrine in party camp. Each totem is dedicated to a particular god in Eora's pantheon. Totems will provide powerful effects while they are active. Only one totem could be active at a time. Yeah, we don't have any totems at the moment, so there's nothing we could do with that. And I don't think I'm going to stab Kai in the back here, so I'm going to put my weapon away. Well, I say we go ahead and end the day, get some sleep here, interact, rest for the night, and exit party camp. Let's do that. And it is now morning, and we no longer have access to our bench or anything. Deering soldier. What?
Someone was actually brazen enough to sneak into the camp for this.
People are angry. They can't see how much good we've done for everyone since we got here. They'll come around, though.
Yeah. I just hope Inquisitor Ludwig and the Strangleroot don't see this and take matters into their own hands.
Agreed. Nobody deserves to die for this. And that's exactly what would happen to those bloody fools.
I guess they're talking about... Oh, I see. Oh, my gosh. So this is a banner here, a flag or something, probably an Adirian flag, and somebody has drawn a dude there with the flag, other that, whatever, that rod going into the butt.
Just another day in paradise, eh?
It's called Paradis.
The gall of these locals.
Don't get too used to the comforts of Paradis.
Okay, I won't. So our Adra is marked here on the map. Over here is some stuff that I can pick up. Right here is a spring root. Spring berries, okay. Over there is a quest, but again, I'm trying to avoid quests and stay singularly focused. Our quest is off in this direction. There's a person standing here. Let's see what they have to say. Hello, Malthea. What's up?
Watch out once you get past the palisades. The Strangleroot is apparently hostile to life, as the scholars say. Wait a moment. Oh, Birth, eat my soul. You're the envoy. Sorry, didn't mean to be so informal.
Barath? Who's that? Is that one of the gods? Barath is the god of death, cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability. They take the form of the pallid knight, a black-clad soldier, or the usher, a wrinkled, silent dwarf, tasked with moving souls along the wheel into their next life. Okay. Let's see here. We could say fox in the flesh. I could be why. We could lie and say, you've mistaken me for another godlike in the Emperor's employ, or I've got to go hold the wall. I like to think that my character is generally friendly. So yeah, it's me.
They said the Emperor sent one of his best and brightest, and Aethys knows we need the help.
Your reputation precedes you.
I hope your voyage here was smooth as good butter. I know maybe too much about rough seas, what with serving in the galleys.
So she mentioned another god, I believe, Eothas. Eothas is the god of rebirth, redemption, dawn, spring, and light. Years ago, a farmer by the name of Wadwin claimed to be a vessel of Eothas and went on a rampage across the eastern reach. Eothas was destroyed, but later rose again in the Deadfire Archipelago. What happened to him there is a matter of speculation. Okay, good lord. Anyway, she hopes our voyage was smooth. It was not. So we could say, I lost most of my crew in a shipwreck at Fort Northreach. Then the fort's steadman tried to kill me. We could just stare off in the distance. We could lie and say it was as restful as a pleasure cruise around High Crown's port. We could say, serving in the galleys. Wait, that means, or I have some questions for you. I know maybe too much about rough seas with serving in the galleys. Wait a minute. Serving in the galleys, what does that mean?
The law and I aren't exactly the best of friends now. Although, I think that's Adia's problem. I was mostly just stealing food. If you're born to the wrong social class, Adia makes climbing the ranks rather difficult. Anyway, that's all in the past.
Okay, so I guess that meant since she served in the galley, she was a pirate, I guess? It better be on the past for your sake. I wasn't born in the right social class either, but I learned a lot from that experience. What did you do? You could say, right, anyway, I have some questions for you, or I've got to go hold the wall. What did you do?
Mostly it was petty larceny. Sometimes it was spiteful larceny. Got caught when I helped a pretty girl rob her husband. I got caught for my many small, petty crimes and spent about 6 years on the prison galleys. Then, a year ago, an Adirian official came to the jails and told us we could serve the Empire for a shortened sentence or rot. You can guess which I chose.
Okay, so she was in prison. She was not a pirate. I read that wrong. You could say you're free after that, or hey, you could do a lot worse than sun, adventure, and time away from the jails. Or we could say, so instead of risking death in prison, you risk death in the wilderness. A poor bargain, if you ask me. I don't know. You could do a lot worse than this, I feel like.
Seems reasonable to me, too. If I get lucky, I might even die out here. All in all, it's a pretty sweet deal. 3 square meals, bed of my own, maybe even a chance to retire as a clerk. Wouldn't mind being bored stupid for a few years. Better than the alternative. But first, even more Palisades.
Okay, wow, we could talk a lot to her. Gee whiz. Have you seen any sign of the Adirian ambassador? Anything you miss about Adir? Why have you set up Palisades here? Given I'm rather new here, I'd love your thoughts on the general lay of the land, or I've got to go hold the wall. Yeah, give me your thoughts.
Listen, envoy. I'm here to build defenses against the land. You want geography lessons? Go ask a cartographer. I do know a few things, though. So, ask.
Okay. Any settlements of note in the living lands? What if I do want a geography lesson? I have other questions. I gotta go. Well, what if I do want a geography lesson?
Once again, I'm no cartographer. But, you know what they say about continents with small acreage? They've got big personalities. Little bit of everything here. Poison swamps, deserts, snow-covered mountains, volcanoes, acid seas. Because why not? A cartographer might be able to tell you more. I hear there's one in town.
Okay. Wow. Any settlements of note in the living lands? How do you feel about the living lands? Do you think the locals take well to seeing a godlike? I have some other questions. Yeah, how do you think the locals are going to respond to seeing a godlike?
I don't know. I mean, I know some people in Adir think of godlike as blessed by the gods. What with you lot having a divine resemblance and all. Although, I guess some folk think godlike are cursed. Depends on what sort you are. Frankly, I don't know if I've seen your particular kind before. Still, I think there are stranger things than you in the living lands, envoy. No offense, but more importantly...
Okay. Well, how do you feel about the living lands?
That it lives up to its name. Wilder place than Adir, which has been stomped into civility. The living land scares our empire, I think. Otherwise, it wouldn't be sending its most expendable folk here. Present company excluded, of course. I think the living lands won't want to be leashed by the empire, though. But that's my opinion. I've been here a while.
Are there any settlements of note here in the living lands?
No, none. It's all untamed wilderness and feral heathens. I'm joking. Of course there are. There's Fjord, which is run by animancers. Thirdborn, where all the ruffians dwell. And Solus Keep, which has the Pargrunin, who don't like anybody.
Wow, that's a lot of new stuff. She mentioned Fjord. Well, she did. I don't see it over here, though. Okay. Well, guess there's no more space for anything over here. She mentioned Solus Keep. Solus Keep is an ancient fortress in Gallowayne's Tusks and the primary residence of the Wardens. The keep is used to defend the region from outsiders and to monitor volcanic activity. Animancy. Animancy is the science and art of soul manipulation. Though popular in the Valian republics, animancy is widely considered controversial, heretical, and too dangerous to tolerate. Animancers are routinely hunted and driven out in many parts of Eora. Oh, Fjord. Here's Fjord right here. Fior Mes Iverno is a city in Emerald Stair, founded by Valian expatriates 50 years ago. The city prides itself on being an intellectual haven where free thinkers and animancers can research in peace. Okay. Wow. Fior's run by animancers? What? Ruffians and Thirdborn, huh? What do you mean when you say Solace keeps inhabitants don't like anybody or have other questions? I mean, Fior's run by animancers?
And happily, too. Sounds like they've got a whole colony of inventors and researchers there. If I want a servant of the Aediran Empire, I might say it sounds fascinating. Groundbreaking, even. I know animancy is considered blasphemous and dangerous, but Fior supplies most of the produce we eat here in Paradis. They must be doing something right.
Okay, and what's this about ruffians and Thirdborn?
Miscreants and layabouts and all those great things. The kind of people who can make a life out of impossibly bad situations. Settlements just as rough and tumble. Wouldn't mind having a drink with the locals, to be honest. They sound like they've got stories. You know what I mean? Heard they're under siege right now, though, by those dream thralls. Wouldn't want to be them, between the desert weather and that.
Seems like a lot of people do know about the Dream Scourge here. She mentions Dream Thalls. Yeah, we already read about those. Those are people who are affected by the Dream Scourge. Hey, what do you mean when you say Solace keeps inhabitants don't like anybody?
I mean the Pargrunan dwarves won't talk to anybody. They stay inside Solace Keep and just never come out.
Okay. I guess I have some other questions.
Ask them then. You're a nice distraction, envoy.
Yeah, this is quite a distraction. Gee whiz. Have you seen any sign of the Aediran ambassador? That's important. Anything you miss about Aedir, or why have you put up palisades here? Yeah, why are there palisades here?
Just take a look down the road, and you'll see the last palisades we tried to hold. And the ones before them. We're trying our best to keep the wilds at bay here, envoy.
Well, the wilds at bay, what's so dangerous up there?
The Strangleroot is hungry. Every day, it gets closer. Every day, weirder creatures crawl out from its foliage. Be careful if you're headed out there. Anyway.
Anything else I should know? Anything you miss about Aedir? Have you seen... Well, anything you miss about Aedir?
About Aedir. Same hungry empire that is looking to gobble up the living lands. The one that sends people out to maybe die for its ambitions. Kind of you to ask, envoy. The truth is, not really. Aedir's fair and good to the people it thinks deserve compassion. But break its trust, and well, Aedir will make you crawl to retrieve the pieces. You can tell it's a place that worships Wodica. Actually, I miss the pies. The crust's all wrong here.
Have you seen any sign of the Aediran ambassador?
He and the Clavager passed through not long ago. I didn't much like it, but they refused an escort.
Tell me about the ambassador. I'd be interested in gossip about the Clavager. Anything else I should know? Well, tell me about the ambassador.
Less competent than he seems. You think with all the time the ambassador spends working, he'd have more done. No, I hear he's about a sneeze away from swallowing the muck he's paddling in. Poor man.
You have any gossip about the Clavager?
Hot-tempered bastard. I think the ambassador's scared of him, but won't do a thing because the Clavager keeps the wheels turning. Good at its job, though. Purportedly. Bad about his confections. Sweet tooth like a hummingbird's. He and the ambassador make a good pair, honestly. The ambassador talks a lot. The Clavager gets the administrative day-to-day done.
I see. About Inquisitor Ludwin, what do you think of her?
Honestly, I'm more scared of her than Wodica. At least I understand why the Burned Queen is so pissed. Ludwin runs the Steel Garrote, Wodica's order of paladins. The only thing they care about is their Burned Queen. There's honor among thieves, envoy. But zealots, they'll raise the world for their god.
Is there anything else I should know?
Pargrunan beer is surprisingly terrible. Always trust in a Mauen to know where the best seafood is. pay attention when the locals tell you something. And watch out for poets. Something's odd about them.
Well, I've got to go. Hold that wall. Wow, I did not expect that to be such a long conversation, but Malthea had a lot to say and we learned a lot from her. But before we move on, I've got to end this episode. When we come back next time, we'll continue on towards the Strangleroot and see what else there is for us to see. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I had a good time. I hope you did too. If you did, why don't you let me know? Leave me a like or a comment. And if you're not a subscriber, won't you please consider subscribing? Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. I sure would appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Hope you join me again in the next one.